Fear is the number one reason why people will not pursue their true potential. Today, we're going to talk about this thing called fear. Whenever we feel we're in a situation where we're not able to control how things will turn out, we begin to feel afraid. And let me just give you an example of that so you can better understand what I'm referring to. If you're in a crowded room and someone comes and shows up with a gun and says, "Get down, I'm gonna shoot," everyone becomes afraid. The reason why is because at that moment, you're no longer in the control over the outcome of what's going to happen to your life. Someone with a gun is now in control. We hate the feeling of not being in control of the outcome because we want to know that we're in control. When we're in control, we feel like we're secure. And so that's how come fear is such a major struggle that many people deal with. And when they feel like they're in a position where they can't see how things will end, that will be a major deterrent for them pursuing and making a decision to go in that direction, even if that direction can turn out to be very promising in the end. And I know this situation, this issue of fear has been a problem that I struggle with, especially in my beginning days as an entrepreneur when I first started my business, my marketing communications firm. I went from the 9-to-5 system working as a legal assistant and, that steady paycheck to paycheck where everything pretty much makes sense. You know the outcome. Every 2 weeks you're going to get that check. You know what you got to do every single day. Nothing really changes. It's pretty comfortable. You know the outcome. You're in control. You don't have to think twice. This is going to be what it is, the end. But when I switched over into the entrepreneur space, owning my own business, there was many things I was terrified of. One, how do I know I'm going to get enough clients to pay all my bills this month? I didn't know what it would be like. I didn't know if the clients would like our services or not. Like, how do I know if I do this voiceover for this commercial for this client, they're going to be satisfied with it? There was just so many what ifs and so many things that I worried about. How do I know? How do I know? What if this? What if that I was terrified to become an entrepreneur. And it hindered me for a while to actually make that jump because I just couldn't control the outcome. And I didn't like the feeling of not being in control. For me, that presented more problems than solutions. But there was a couple of steps that I was able to utilize to ultimately help me deal with this issue of fear. Because at some point you have to deal with this issue of fear. It's either going to overcome you or you overcome it. And in the end, that's just the truth. But in the end, you have to decide what you're going to be. Are you going to be the one who's overcome by it and stagnant and never move forward? Or are you going to be that person that overcomes? I mean, it may be difficult, but nothing feels better than being victorious over something that's standing in your way of becoming your true potential. Okay, so let me list these 3 steps for you that help me, and hopefully those steps can help you when you're dealing with this issue of fear. The first step in dealing with the issue of fear is that I had to be willing to overcome and get rid of this desire to control the outcome. I had to be willing to forfeit that and just discard it. Let go and just, you know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, I gotta at least try. I gotta at least give the effort and give it a chance. If it doesn't turn out the way I need to, I'll figure out another way. But don't let your what if, this imaginary thing that hasn't even happened yet, be something that stands in the way of what could turn out to be a really good opportunity. You'll never know if you're living in the realm of what if because of fear. So I had to be willing to let go of control. Let go of how much income I may make this month. And just, know that, I don't know what the outcome can be, but I gotta try because it may actually be better than I ever dreamed of. And that's what ended up happening in my situation, by the way. The second step that I utilized was that I had to get rid of this fear of taking risks. Oh, this is a high risk. I got to be careful. What if this happens? No, I had to become bold and brave when I dealt with my business. Be brave enough to approach these clients. If I'm in a networking event or if I'm sitting in a restaurant and I strike up a conversation and someone ends up revealing that they need my services, I have to be confident and bold enough to take risks, bold enough to do things that I'm not really comfortable doing. But that's going to help your character grow and keep you from that little stagnant box of fear. When you're bold and you're willing to just be like, you know what, it doesn't matter, forget it. I'm just going forward. I don't care what the risk is, whether I fall today or I rise tomorrow, I'm going for it. And I'm telling you right now, you need to set your mindset in the right place. There's no other way to deal with this issue called fear other than to fill your mind with the right thoughts. If it doesn't have the right thoughts, you're going to be held back because your mind is the most powerful part of your existence. And if you allow fear to control that, there's nothing that I can say or anyone can say that's going to help you break out of that. You have to be willing to just take risks and not be afraid and just put it out there. Because like I said, you never know which way it can turn. It may turn out bad or it may turn out good. And it's not the end of the world if things don't necessarily go the way you expected. I'm going to quote a famous inventor that we all know. His name is Thomas Edison. They said he failed 10,000 times before he invented the light bulb. And you know what I like about Thomas Edison? When it came to failure, he didn't even look at failure like how a lot of us look at it today, like this big monster that we're terrified of experiencing. He's like, listen, I found out 10,000 ways that just didn't work. And for him, because he learned those 10,000 ways that didn't work, by the 10,001 opportunity, he was able to invent the light bulb. He didn't even look at failure as this thing to be so scared of. No, it's just helping me to get better and better and better until I finally perfect it. And that's why he's famous today for inventing the light bulb, because he wasn't afraid of failing. He wasn't afraid of the outcome or wanting to control it. He allowed it to be a teacher that ultimately helped him to be perfect at what he did. And so I think it's amazing for that. Now, the third step in helping me overcome this issue of fear is that I was able to put my mind on the fact that, you know what I'm offering will be very valuable to someone. Like I had to put that in my mind, this reality that my product or service is going to help this client. It's going to help this business. And if I'm afraid and I don't allow that opportunity to be out there, there's so many people that will miss out on the value that I can give them because I'm being selfish and I'm being so self-absorbed that I can't think of others. Like, get your mind off of yourself. You're paying too much attention to you and what if and da-da-da-da. And to focus on the right things, focus on others. How is this going to help someone? They need this. This is going to benefit them. If anything, let that be your drive for why you do what you do, the value that you're transferring to others. So I want to translate that to you. These are the 3 things that has helped me. And I really hope that you would find real benefit from utilizing those 3 steps as well. What I want you to do as well, if you can write in the comment, just a couple of things, maybe 1 or 2 things that you feel is hindering you, that you're afraid of, from moving into your true potential. Put down the comments below, and maybe that can help me generate new topics that we can discuss on shows that I plan on shooting in the future. Okay? Thank you.